Thank you, Councillor Pasternak. Good morning, councillors, faith leaders, community leaders, and distinguished guests. My name is Jay Rosenzweig, and I serve as chair, as Councillor Pasternak mentioned, of Erwin Kotler's Raoul Wallenberg Center for Human Rights. It is a privilege to stand with you at City Hall, united against anti-Semitism, hate, and injustice.
I'll call you next.
Anti-Semitism and hate are spiraling out of control in Toronto, across Canada, and around the world. These incidents remind us that hate and division are not confined to history books. They are present, escalating, and demand our immediate attention. That is why we are here today, to confront this crisis and advocate for decisive, unified responses. As we all know, Professor Kotler has been the target of an Iranian assassination plot. He has described this as a wake-up call for all of us. Iran's campaign of transnational repression is not just a threat to individuals. It's a direct assault on our shared values of democracy, human rights, and security. These threats, both transnational and domestic, demand urgent action to defend freedom and justice. We all share a stake in each other's humanity. When hatred or injustice takes root, it diminishes us all. Online platforms, especially social media, have been breeding grounds for manipulation and division, often targeting young people. To confront hate, we must reclaim truth as our foundation, find points of commonality, and focus on what brings us together. This fight against hate must extend beyond one community. Anti-Semitism and hate are part of a broader pattern of division, and no group is immune. When we build alliances across communities, we find strength in our shared humanity. I've been working with Van Jones on forming a Black-Jewish coalition because these alliances are vital. Van has laid out a proposed framework of shared causes, the 5 H's as he puts it, that the Black and Jewish communities can rally around, including advocating for hostages, combating hate, eliminating terrorist groups such as Hamas, who he describes as freedom takers, not freedom fighters, and supporting the Jewish people's right to self-determination in our indigenous homeland. Hostage advocacy deeply resonates when we remember that members of the Black community were forcibly brought to North America against their will. Similarly, the Black community understands the dangerous repercussions of hate, and their support helps us all stand together strongly against anti-Semitism and racism. We must build alliances with all communities, as I've seen firsthand through partnerships with Muslim, Asian, and Indigenous communities, some of whom I thankfully and appreciatively see here today. When Jewish people speak with Indigenous communities in Canada as one Indigenous people to another, it fosters understanding. Finding commonality is not just possible, it's essential. Closer to home, my Rosenzweig report on women in leadership, now in its 20th year, emphasizes the urgency for justice, equity, and the protection of women's and girls' rights, an issue brought into sharper focus after the atrocities of October 7th. The report features voices from diverse backgrounds, showing that while we may not always agree, we can still find common ground and work together to advance shared goals. Together we can build a world where disagreement sparks dialogue, not hate, where respect is the foundation, not the exception, and where the humanity we share shines brighter than the forces that seek to divide us. Thank you.